Karnataka, where there's a fresh fight that's brewing between the state government and the centre. Chief Minister Siddaramaiah has alleged that there was injustice to the state in terms of devolution of taxes. The Chief Minister says that this year, 6,300 crore returns in tax devolution is what the state is getting from the centre as part of the devolution formula. He claims that this is a drop from previous installments. The Chief Minister has given a call to Kannadigas cutting across caste, religion and politics to rise against this discrimination, as he puts it. Meanwhile, the BJP is demanding that the state government release a white paper on the funds released to Karnataka. But it's not the centre that decides which state gets what share. It's the Finance Commission, which is a quasi-judicial body. So then, is the Karnataka Chief Minister's charge of bias by the centre and discrimination against his state and other southern states a valid point to make?
The real issue is why are these bills not paid according to them? See, I'm not privy to the details. Is the important question that
read the white paper. Don't wrong things, false allegations. No false allegations.
All right, before we go into our debate, and we'll have a face-off straight up between the BJP and the Congress, I just want to bring you up to speed with this whole business of tax devolution. Now, how does this whole thing work? Now, you pay taxes. You pay both income tax, which is a central tax, and now GST, which is also a central tax, which all goes into what is called the Consolidated Fund of India. So this devolution is basically distribution of the tax revenues between the centre and the states, because after all, taxes that are collected from the states also go into this central kitty. That division of how much each state gets is a recommendation that is put forth by the Finance Commission. And from time to time, we've had Finance Commissions. Right now, it's the 16th Finance Commission under Mr. Arvind Panagaria, the former Niti Aayog chief. This commission is constituted every 5 years and they come up with a formula. Now, the basis of that formula is equitable and fair distribution between various states, a devolution that is based on specific criteria for each state. So, for example, let's say Bihar is a more backward state, requires more funds, then there is a certain proportion that is allocated to a state like Bihar. Or a Maharashtra or a Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, which are more industrialized states, which are more developed states, which don't need as much funds from the centre or the consolidated fund, they are given a slightly less proportion because clearly they are at a slightly higher advanced stage of development. They are slightly more industrialized than a state like, let's say, Bihar or even any of the Eastern Belt states, as it were. So this is something that is attuned every 5 years, basis recommendations made by the Finance Commission. Now, the central government's claim is, before the Modi government came to power, the devolution, the total devolution to states was about 40% or so in that ballpark, and that the Modi government has raised that to 43% for all the states. Now, within that, which state gets how much? Again, Maharashtra is the highest tax-paying state in the country. Is it getting back every single rupee that it gives to the centre? No, because it can't give back every single rupee back to the state, because there are other states which require much more funds and central support than, let's say, an industrialized state like Maharashtra. Anand Gurumurthy is spokesperson of the Karnataka BJP. Brijesh Karlappa is advocate, and with the Congress, he'll be joining us in a moment. But let me start with you, Mr. Gurumurthy. The contention that has been made by the Chief Minister is a mere 6,300 crores have been allocated to the state. The state paid 1,73,000 crores as its share of taxes, both direct and indirect taxes. He says that Karnataka is the second highest state in the country for GST collection after Maharashtra, but its share, its contribution back to the state from the central kitty, from the consolidated fund, has been decreasing year by year. This is the contention of the Chief Minister. Please respond.
See, basically, the Chief Minister is trying to mix up data and give a post to the people that he is managing the fiscal policy properly. Actually, it is his governance that is bad. He is not managing the fiscal policy as it was, and he has changed certain things. Certain things has changed after he became the chief minister. The freebies that were given were not calculated ahead. So because of that, he's not able to pay people now whatever promises they made, poll promises to win the elections. Now they are not able to pay the people, and for that they are taking loans, which is still not enough. And because of that, he's pointing fingers at the center. You can clearly see the data, Zach, that it is almost for the, from 2004 to 2014. If you see whatever tax devolution happened to Karnataka, it is 3 times more now from 2014 to 24. Okay, despite this, the chief minister has to tell now he has more money to spend, but he is not spending it in the right way. There's a lot of corruption happening in Karnataka state, which our party is
pointing out. But Mr. Gurmurthy, it's not just Mr. Siddaramaiah. The other southern chief minister is also making the same point. Pinarayi Vijayan, who is the Kerala chief minister, has said this is his charge, that the centre has made a curtailment of 57,400 crore rupees in the state receipts. That is what goes from the centre's kitty to the states. He claims there's been a cut of 57,400 crores. Mr. Stalin, the Tamil Nadu chief minister, has said that the centre is trying to limit the borrowing capacity of states, and this violates fiscal federalism. So it's not just one Mr. Siddaramaiah. It's also chief ministers of other southern states.
There are 2 points. 2 points I want to answer you. One is all non NDA states are doing. So I'm going to respond to that. Second thing is, first of all, let me respond to that part. See, you say that all the states, all these non-NDA states are telling this, and there is a curb on state government. Why there is a curb? There is no curb, okay, but there is a limit which has been agreed by everybody. So all this complaint of curb and everything is not something which has come up today in the Narendra Modi government. It's there in India just to ensure that no states go beyond some parameter. And they go into a debt, and finally the central has to subsidize. That should not happen. And so they have a cut. Now the second thing is, like, what we have to observe is these people are not talking about the defense budget. That is for the entire nation. All the southern states also, our navy protects the waters for the entire country. Our army protects the land everywhere. There is air force. All these expenses are also not taken as a state kitty. It is something which the central manages with the fund with which it has. Other than that, the farmers get every 3 months once they get a subsidy from the government. Then there is urea subsidy. Then there are a lot of schemes, Ujjwala scheme, so many education related schemes, RTE. All these things get subsidized from the central government. So where is the fund coming from? All this is coming from the central kitty, and it is going to the states. So these people are, trying to confuse people with wrong data. That's what I told in my first statement. All these people, whether it is Mr. Stalin or Siddaramaiah, they are having a very corrupt running government. They are not only spending it on the wrong things, they are also doing a lot of corruption while doing that, and also not managing their fiscal policy properly, and then pointing fingers at center whenever they want to borrow more.
So the contention by the BJP is that all of these freebies that have been promised, some estimates for all the freebies that need to be met by the Karnataka government, the 5 guarantees as they call it, you require somewhere in excess of 50,000 crores. Now, the state's contention is that, look, BJP is also making freebies. For example, in Maharashtra, recently the elections that concluded, the biggest game changer scheme was Ladki Ban, and Ladki Ban costs, as per the last estimate, 43,000 crores to the exchequer. So it's not like you are setting any different an example. Your BJP-led state governments are also giving similar so-called revidies and guarantees and freebies.
No. Let's not just call it revidi or guarantee or something like this. See, I have 100 rupees. If I'm giving 50 rupees, if I say I'll give 50 rupees for some guarantee scheme or something which will help the poor, this is very good, Zach. Whether it is BJP or Congress, everybody has to do it. But without calculating, if I say I have 100 rupees, I'll give you 200 rupees in guarantee, and then win an election and come, and then do not implement the schemes, and then point fingers at somebody else who is not responsible for it. Is it called a responsible CM's behavior?
So Brijesh Kalapa is also joining us. Brijesh Kalapa, so you had the BJP spokesperson as you were joining us a little late. His contention is that this whole thing about the state gets only a measly sum of what it collects in terms of GST is a wrong comparison, because there are central requirements that have to be taken care of. For example, the defense budget. It takes care of all states and the Union of India. We are allocating something like, I think, 3% of GDP or 4% of GDP for the defense budget. These are all these central schemes that are there, whether it is the PDS system, whether it is the Kisan Samman Nidhi. There's no discrimination between a farmer getting 6,000 rupees in Maharashtra or a farmer in Karnataka getting 6,000 rupees. So it's a false equivalence that the Chief Minister is trying to draw when he says that we are giving 1,70,000 crores as GST that's being collected from Karnataka, but we are only getting a pittance of that in return.
No, I think it begs the question: what is the contribution of Karnataka as far as GST is concerned, and how much are we getting in return? I think that itself will tell you that there is a stark contrast in what our contribution is. To the best of my information, for every rupee we give, we get only 16 paise back, right? And this is true of every state in the south of India. But insofar as Karnataka is concerned, there is the issue of the 15th Finance Commission, in which there was a straight face, threadbare. There was an analysis in which it was proven that there was a shortfall in terms of what Karnataka should have received and what it actually had received. So I think not just in terms of how much the state is contributing, and this is an issue which has been ongoing.
But Brijesh, if I were to extend that same logic, if you look at how much taxes are collected from Bangalore as opposed to all the rest of Karnataka, then Bangalore residents, citizens can also make that same complaint that we pay 50% of the state's taxes, but we don't get as much back into the city.
You see, the thing is, Zaka, that as far as the spending is concerned, you'll have to accept that Bangalore receives the maximum spending as far as the budget of Karnataka is concerned. So naturally you have the best of facilities here. So if somebody is performing well, right, there might be some minor differences in terms of the allocations. But there is no gainsaying in saying that, look, we are going to get all the money from Bangalore, but we are going to treat it just as we treat any other city or district. So the point is, if we are contributing so much, right, we have to, I think every state has to ask for its rightful share, and Karnataka is asking for its rightful share. But the point is, why is the Karnataka BJP opposing this?
Okay.
They should join the crore.
We'll see how that plays out both in Karnataka as well as in some of the other southern states. For the moment, I'll leave it at that. Anand Gurmurthy and Mr. Brijesh Kolapa, thank you very much for joining us.